Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Heidi. I make tons of like fashion videos, mostly. I've done some makeup videos. They weren't very popular, but I make fashion videos. I do inside the dressing rooms. I do hauls. I have a bunch of hauls coming. So you guys, if you don't want to stick around for this, you better come back for the hauls because I've got 3 coming up, probably in the next, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, depends on shipping. So there's some good stuff to come. And let's get into today's video because today is my Q&A. And I asked you guys to leave me questions probably well over a week ago already. I asked you to leave me questions on a couple of my videos for a Q&A, and I did get some really awesome questions. And it's not that I have been putting this off, but it's really hard sometimes to find time to sit down and film. Not necessarily to find time, but just to schedule and actually be able to calmly sit down and actually gather my thoughts because I work all day, and then in the evening, my son is usually home in the evening, and then it's just nonstop, mom, teenagers are crazy. If you guys have them, you know they're crazy. But tonight, actually, fingers crossed he doesn't come home before I'm done this because he's actually, my mom recruited him into sanding down the fence, and I think he's gonna whitewash it eventually, and he's making a bunch of cash so he can buy sneakers. Good luck to you, kid. But thanks, Mom. Thanks for taking my kid tonight, or occupying him. She can't take him anymore because he doesn't like to go anymore. He likes to be at home because he's at that age where he just doesn't enjoy going away to grandma and grandpa's that much anymore. But if they're paying him to do work, then he'll go. So let's hope he works his ass off tonight and doesn't come home for a while. So I pulled the questions up on my laptop, and I didn't pull them up on my phone because I film with my phone. So I can't do, I can't be scrolling through my phone while I'm filming because my phone is my camera. I'm so legit. For real. Okay, let's start with these questions. Thank you so much, you guys, for leaving me these questions. I'm kind of nervous about answering some of them because they're a little bit personal, and there's one question that's so loaded that I don't know if I might even have to make it into a whole new video. I don't even know. We'll see what happens with this. I really hope it doesn't go too long, but it could. So the very first question I have, and I'm not going in any particular order. I could have maybe ordered this better, but whatever. So the first question is from Julie C. And you're always watching my videos and commenting, and you're super awesome. And she says, your videos are great, Heidi. When I'm watching, I always feel like I'm hanging out with a friend. Oh, I like that. Your realness is refreshing. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Q&A. If you could choose any career, what would you do? What's your current favorite perfume? Are there any TV series you watch? Hope you had a great time at your dad's birthday. Oh yeah, that was from that. That was on the video that I posted to get ready with me when I was going to my dad's, and I did. I had a great time for dinner that night. We drank a lot and talked a lot, and it was awesome. Love your videos. Keep posting. We'll keep watching. Thank you so much. I really hope you do, and I'm so happy that people are enjoying my videos and that you're enjoying them. That means a lot to me. So questions. What is you, if you could choose any career, what would you do? If I could choose anything, I've always wanted to do something with fashion. I've always really just loved the idea of if I could open up my own boutique clothing, plus size clothing line, like a small boutique store carrying different designers, maybe not well-known designers, but that would be awesome. And I know actually it's a perfect spot in the city where I would open up. And the city where I live, we do not have any kind of boutique clothing store for plus size women that is an independent store as opposed to just a big chain store. we don't have anything like that here. And that would be so, I think I would enjoy that so much. I'd love it. Anything to do with fashion, I would. But on the other hand, I've never wanted to work in retail. I have worked retail in the past, like years and years and years ago, but I would not want to work in retail. I know that people have asked me before on my videos, it didn't come up specifically in the Q&A, what I do for work. And I do general office, like I'm administrative office job. I work in government. Not really going to get into exactly where, but it's a good job that pays the bills, and I'm really happy to have it. But if I were to do something kind of more in line with something I'm passionate about, it would definitely be something in fashion and clothes. So what's your current favorite perfume? I don't know if I have a current favorite perfume. I've always loved citrusy scents, and I've been in love with Happy by Clinique, like since I was like really, really young. And I don't know if anyone ever remembers, I wouldn't wear it anymore because it's got such a distinct smell, but if anyone remembers Exclamation, used to be able to buy it at the drugstore for like dirt cheap, and we used to wear it in the 90s all the time. I wonder if they still sell it. I would totally buy it for the nostalgia, just to have that perfume again. I would totally buy it. But yeah, I love citrusy scents when it comes to perfume. So I love Happy by Clinique. And also I got a sample of, oh, and now the name is slipping my mind. Atelier. It's a Sephora scent, a Sephora perfume. Atelier. What is it? But it's so good. And I keep like the little sample at work. And so I just like dab it on every day a little bit. And it's so nice. And it reminds me a lot of Happy by Clinique. So that's probably my favorite perfume or scents. Are there any TV series you watch? I do, actually. My all-time favorite TV series of all time, nothing has been able to top this or probably will ever top it, is Breaking Bad. I loved Breaking Bad. I binged it probably like from season 1 to season 5, like late. Like I didn't watch it when it first came out. This was probably only about 6 months to a year ago. But I like watched it for probably 3 weeks straight. I did nothing. Like I worked, came home, and just like Breaking Bad for 3 solid weeks. Like I could not, like all time, hands down, favorite show. I also love like political crime dramas. So I love watching Homeland. I'm a huge Claire Danes fan ever since My So-Called Life. Any 90s kids, if you guys remember Claire Danes from My So-Called Life, and Jared Leto, Jordan Catalano. Do you guys remember Jordan Catalano? Anyway, so I love Homeland, and I love, off the top of my head, come on. Yeah, like political crime dramas or anything really dark and fucked up. That's my kind of show. Margaret Sims, great video, but the music sounds really strange. I don't think you left this as a Q&A question, but I threw it in here just because I wanted to actually address the comment. I know the music is strange. Like if you guys know about like, I can't just play whatever music I want. I have to use like royalty-free music. And I don't know, I mean, if you guys watch a lot of YouTube, you know, like especially when you're watching a lot of like fashion videos or makeup tutorials or whatever, it's always the same music. Like do 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 do. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, I can't stand that one. That is my every time I hear it, I'm just like, whoa. And people use the same horrible tracks all the time. So when I was looking for royalty-free music to use, I tried to find stuff that I hadn't heard before that was like different and was kind of, you know. So if the music sounds strange, I apologize, but I don't also, because like strange is better than like everybody else's and like cringeworthy, annoying, and just, you guys know which ones I'm talking about. If I had thought about it, I would have pulled up a few and like played it in the background, like for you guys to hear which one, but you guys know exactly which ones I'm talking about. They drive me crazy. And then you can't get them out of your head. It's just, fuck. Okay. So next question, Ali XOXO, girl, if you guys look for her. She's got a channel, and this girl cracks me up with her videos. She does a lot of like, she's done some fashion stuff, but she's also done like some like dating and just like lifestyle type, like chatter type videos, and she's hilarious. She makes me laugh so loud, and she's Canadian, so I love her. Anyway, Allie, your question is, are you single? And if so, what has it been like dating? Share the POF stories. Okay, so you guys, POF, if you guys don't know, Plenty of Fish, it's a dating app or dating site that I don't know if it's super popular anymore, but it definitely was one of the big dating sites in the past. And I commented on one of her videos when she talked about it, and so she knows that I've used POF. So she wants to know, share the POF stories. Okay. And what's your ethnic background? I'm nosy, LOL. Yes, you are. So, okay. Are you single? If so, what's it been like dating? I don't... Honestly, I don't know if I'm single right now. I could very well be. I might not be. It's a complicated situation that I'm not really going to get into. Also, because he's subscribed to my channel, so whatever. I don't really know at this point. It would be good to know. But anyway, what's it been like dating? Dating? Well, I've done a lot of dating in my adult life because I've been single for a lot of my adult life. Share the POF stories. So I guess this is where I share a POF story. So online dating, most of you guys know about online dating. I was trying to think about what kind of, I mean, I could share POF stories that are not YouTube appropriate. So they're more like, you know, drinking with your girlfriend appropriate. And this isn't really that. It sort of is, but not really. So I will share one story. So, okay. So I met this guy on Plenty of Fish, and we talked back and forth a little bit, and we agreed to, we did even like FaceTime, like not like FaceTime, what FaceTime is now. I think it was like, this was years ago. Like we're talking, this was like back in like, I think like 2008. So like almost 10 years ago. And so we did like we webcammed, but it was weird because when we webcammed, it was like, he was really in the shadows. Like it was really dark. So I couldn't really, I mean, I saw a couple pictures, but I couldn't like completely see him that well on webcam. So we agreed to meet at this coffee shop, and I get there. And the very first thing that happens when I get to this coffee shop where we're going to meet is I look over to the right and I see another guy that I had met or I had gone on a couple dates with there. So he's there. So right away, I'm like, what the fuck? Like there's a guy that I've been on a date with at the coffee shop, and I'm about to meet this other guy. So right away, it puts me on edge. And so I'm like waiting, you know, to place my order. And then the guy walks in that I'm meeting for the first time. And immediately I look at him and I'm like, you have to be fucking kidding me. It's the same guy as the pictures, but he's probably at least 10 to 15 years older than the picture. So right away, it's like, it's not the same person. So definitely was not the same person that he had represented himself as. And I immediately was like, bolt, like I'm out of here. And so like my reflexes just kicked in. And the first thing I said to him, I guess when he approached me, and also meanwhile, I'm like dealing with this guy that I've been on a date with already. That's like sitting in the coffee shop. And it's just so super awkward. I'm like, I have to get out of here. So immediately, like I said something like, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, I forgot something in my car. Like I just have to run and get it. And he was like, oh. So I like take off. Like, I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. And I leave. And I mean, I'm not coming back. Right. Cause I'm like that. No, like it's not happening. I always feel like in a situation where when you meet somebody and they've given some kind of a misrepresentation of who they are, there's no explanation needed. Like, I'm allowed to leave. I'm allowed to, like, I don't need to give you any more of my time to explain why I'm leaving. Like, you've misrepresented yourself. I'm done. I'm gone. So I leave, and right away, I mean, the first thing is, first of all, I didn't even have a car at the time. Like, I was busing it. So, I mean, I turn right, and then I kind of like book like around. So in case he saw me, he would see me go this way as opposed to that way, and kind of duck around the back alley, come back out and walk to the bus stop. And it's winter, so it's cold. So, I mean, I like jump into the bus shack and I'm like all cold waiting. I'm like, come on, like bus, let's go. And of course I'm waiting. And then all of a sudden he shows up and he walks into the bus shack, walks right up to me. First of all, there's no car, obviously, because I'm waiting in the bus shack, waiting for a bus like an idiot. And it was just super awkward. Like, he was like, oh, like, you know, what's going on? Is everything okay? And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I just basically, I don't know exactly. It was really awkward, but he did like have, like, he was like, well, you know, just so you know, like, I really like you. And, you know, and he gave me like a box of chocolates or something. And at first I didn't want to take them, but it's like, how do you, at that point, it was just like, okay, like, just leave. So I took them and whatever. So that's one crazy POF story. There's also fake picture stories. I mean, everyone's been given a fake picture. But anyway, if you guys really want like more of those like crazy dating stories that are to the point, like appropriate to the point where I can actually share them on here and feel comfortable sharing like some fake picture stories, because I've got some funny ones. I'll make like a story time or something if that's what you guys want, because it would be pretty funny if you're interested. But this video is going to be way too long if I keep talking my POF stories, because Lord. So, and Allie's next question was, what's your ethnic background? So, my family is all like Eastern European, Russian background. That's my family. As far as I know, that's what it is. Yeah, so those are your questions, which is awesome. Thank you for asking me those questions. And if you guys want to check out Allie's channel, I'll link it below because she's super hilarious. She's awesome. Diggs 1976. She wants to know, I'd like to know more about your family, boyfriend, any marriages, favorite foods, favorite exercises, favorite restaurant. LOL, I'll stop there for now. So I would like to know more about your family. So my immediate family would be myself and my son. My son is 13 and it's me and him. We've been, me and my son's father, we separated just before he turned 2. So it was a very long time ago. And so he doesn't live here. He actually lives on the West Coast. He lives in Vancouver. That's where we met, and that's where we initially got together. And he's not really involved in my son's life at all. His choice, not mine. So that's that story. Boyfriend, any marriages? So I covered the boyfriend thing. Marriages, no, I've never been married. Favorite foods. So I like a lot of different foods, especially different cuisines from like all around the world. I can't really partake in that many of them anymore because I do have a lap band, and that's in another video. I'll link that one below as well. If you guys want to check out that whole story as to why I'm not able to probably enjoy a lot of the different foods that I do like anymore. But some of my favorite foods would be, so when I was young and when I met my son's father is actually from Belize in Central America, and also part Jamaican. And Belize is like just, it borders Mexico and Guatemala, but it is very, also like a very Caribbean, African background. So, the food that he cooked, like, you guys, like I love like Mexican food. And so the food that he cooked was like a combo of like Mexican and like West Indian food. And it was just out of this world. Like he was an amazing cook and an amazing chef and really like expanded my horizons. And this was like pre-lapband days. So, I mean, the food that I enjoyed in that time, like really kind of like expanded my horizons. But probably I'd say like Mexican, because I mean, I like West Indian food, but when you mix it with like Mexican or Latin flavors, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Favorite exercises. So I don't do a lot of different exercises. I love swimming, and I used to really love cycling as well. But swimming would probably be at the top. My family has a summer cabin, and I spend a lot of my time there in the summer, and I love swimming. I love the water. Everything about summer and the water is like my favorite, all-time favorite restaurant. So I'd say I had a favorite restaurant. Like I said, I love like world cuisine. So I mean, I love like Thai food. I love Mexican food. There was like El Salvadorian food is really good. But like an actual restaurant, and I love sushi. I can't eat sushi anymore, but I love sushi. But yeah, like anything, probably, I don't have a specific favorite restaurant. But that would be like my favorite food, I'd say. Okay, next question. Tasha Rickman. She says, first, I would like to say that I love your channel. When watching, I feel like you're chatting with me as my girlfriend. I love it. Thank you so much. You're the second person to say that to me, and I really appreciate that. That just makes me so happy. I try to be as real as I can on here. I know that I am very reserved a lot, and hopefully that'll kind of change as I maybe get more comfortable making these videos. So Q&A question, is there a body part that you love to show off? I mean, I'd say like maybe I like my chest, so I don't like to like put it like totally on display or anything, but I mean, I like tops that are fitted. You guys have probably noticed that already. I like fitted tops. I like things that are low cut. I find like it balances me, so I don't like wearing things that are too high necked, and I like things that are quite fitted. And yeah, like, I mean, I don't mind like fitted clothing. That's definitely, so I mean, like my butt, my hips, my waist, like I don't mind fitted clothing anymore. That was something that I definitely shied away from for a long time, and I've realized that I don't need to. Next question, Shay80. Q&A, where in Canada do you live? And if you don't want to say, that's okay. I'm just wondering because it seems like you have a lot more plus size clothing options where you live. I live in BC, and there's not as much here for a plus size person. Also, you have amazing skin. What are your skincare secrets? Oh, thank you. Okay, so first of all, where in Canada do I live? So I actually live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, right in the center of Canada. So if you guys don't know, like central. So I mean, if you're going straight up from North Dakota, boom, you hit us. And it's quite a large city, just under 1 million population, maybe like 800,000, I'm guessing, 900,000. I don't know exactly. But I will say, because Shay, I have actually like checked out your Instagram, and I know you are in BC. You're actually in Vancouver, and I actually lived in Vancouver myself for 6 years. So from the age of 18 till I was pregnant with my son, I lived in Vancouver. And then I moved back here. That's actually where I met my son's father. And I actually know of a store in Langley, BC, which is just outside of Vancouver. I'm sure you know exactly where it is, but Lucy Clothing. I don't know if you've ever gone there or ever heard of it, but they are still around. I've been back to Vancouver a few times in the past couple years, and they carry brands like Gigi, Kiona, a lot of brands that you wouldn't find in any of the chain stores like Pennington's or Additional. So if you've never been to Lucy, I would suggest checking them out. And address, I mean, you can just Google them, But if you've never been there, I would highly suggest checking out their store. The last time I was there was probably 2 years ago when I was visiting Vancouver. I went on vacation with my son back to the city, and they're definitely worth checking out. And but I know what you mean, because when I was even when I lived there from 1997 through 2003. Like I lived in Vancouver, like in downtown Vancouver, and there was nothing. You'd have to really go to the outskirts to find like a Deschanel or Pennington's. I don't even know. Yeah, I think I shopped Pennington's at the time, but there was also a store, and they're not in the city anymore, but they were, and I believe they're on the island now. So if you ever make it out to the island, there is a store called Bodacious, and they carry also a lot of like independent designers, plus size clothing. And so if you ever make it out to the island, I would highly suggest checking them out. I believe they're in Nanaimo. They used to be in Vancouver, so unfortunately they're not there anymore. But those are two stores that I know of that are that are different, that would carry some independent designers that you wouldn't find in the big box chain stores. But I know what you mean. It's hard. It's definitely hard. It's even hard here. Last question was, you have amazing skin. What are your skincare secrets? Well, thank you. I do, this is a hard question to answer because my camera's about to die. This is a hard one for me because I don't really have any skincare secrets. A lot of the times, and correct me if I'm wrong, but my whole life, like I've never really, I'm older, so it's like I never really did a lot with makeup or with my skin because I didn't know how to. There wasn't YouTube back when I was in my 20s, so I never really, watched tutorials or really, ever really got into doing makeup. I never wore foundation. I never did anything like that, the things that I do now. So it's only really been in the last couple of years that I've really been trying to take better care of my skin. The thing is, like, I've never had any problems with my skin, and a lot of the times if you don't have a problem with something, if something's not a problem or an issue, you tend not to really focus on it. So I never really ever did anything. The most I ever did, and it's because I liked using it on my skin, I've always used Dove. I always use Dove in the shower, and to be God's honest truth, all I ever did was just wash my face with a Dove in the shower. And when I would moisturize, when I would put moisturizer on my skin, whatever I was using on my skin, I'd slather on my face, and then I would I always did my eyebrows, and I did mascara, and I did lipstick. That was the extent of my makeup for the majority of my life, really. Now things have kind of changed a little bit. Something that I really like doing, that I've been doing for the past little while, is I like doing like a baking soda coconut oil scrub. So I mix like equal parts baking soda and coconut oil, and I leave like a little container of that in the shower, and I'll use that as my, to cleanse my face. And I'll do that maybe a couple times a week. Otherwise, I just use Dove because that's the bar of soap that I keep in the shower. And then I'll use, I like using like an anti-wrinkle CC cream, and I use that every day. So I actually use like an actual face moisturizer now, and then I do like, like primer, foundation, powder now. But I've never had acne, so I've never ever had to really do any of that to take care of blemishes or do anything to really help me with stuff like that. So I'm probably not the best person to ask about skincare routines, but I don't know. I think that's just the way that it is. If something's not a problem, you tend not to focus on it much. And so I never really focused on skincare. That was never something that I had a problem with. So I just did whatever. Also, when you don't have money, you're not going to go spend a bunch of money on something that, you don't consider necessary or you don't consider an issue. Definitely, now that I'm getting older, I'm definitely noticing like lines, especially like I've always been like self-conscious about like my forehead wrinkles and things like that, because I mean, they're starting to happen. So I am being more conscious of it now. But I never really was in the past. And that's really all I can say. I mean, find something that works for you. And definitely there's tons of people out there with skincare advice that could probably be much more help, because everyone's different. Everyone has different skin. Like mine is a little bit more like normal to dry. So I don't have advice for oily skin. I don't know how oily skin works and products to use for it because I don't have it. So I don't know. But I guess just like experiment and find something that works for you. Sometimes maybe changing things up too much isn't necessarily a good idea. Find something that works and then stick with it and kind of be diligent and take your makeup off at night. That's something that I've had to learn to slowly do. I don't do it all the time, I will be honest, but that's a good habit to get into for sure. Noah Zippy Moon. I don't think this was a Q&A question, but again, I wanted to address it in this video. Are you wearing shapewear? How do you make your body look so smooth? So you left this question on one of my videos, one of my Inside the Dressing Room videos. And I wanted to touch on it in this video because I think it's something that I'm not going to shy away from. I wear leggings all the time. I wear leggings that are very fitted, and a lot of times when I'm wearing leggings, I'll wear panties that are quite, like full coverage panties. And so that's usually what I'm wearing when I'm in the change room in my inside the dressing room videos, because I wear leggings almost every day. I wear leggings under dresses because I'm always wearing boots. That's just my thing in the winter. That's what I'm always wearing. But I'm not going to lie to you. I am definitely a fan of shapewear. I think shapewear can do wonderful things, and especially and there's a misconception that shapewear is uncomfortable, or that shapewear cuts off your circulation, or it's not comfortable. It's not, when I'm wearing, something that's flowy and skims the body, or even when something that's flowy, like in the summer, if I'm wearing like a really flowy, thin material, like jersey maxi dress, because I'm huge into maxi dresses in the summer, I'll definitely wear shapewear panties. Like, I don't find them uncomfortable. They're nothing to be afraid of, and they're nothing to be ashamed of either. If you want to wear something that's going to help smooth you out a little bit, why the hell not? If it makes you feel better, if it makes your clothing look better on you or make you feel more comfortable, I'm all for it. And it's not uncomfortable at all. Like, I'm not talking about wearing like cinched in like corset style shapewear. Like I'm talking about like fitted like shapewear panties. Like, I don't like to wear anything on my thighs. Like, I don't like to wear shapewear with legs because I have very big thighs, and I find that it really like digs into your skin and leaves you that like noticeable mark or like indentation in your thighs when you wear like thigh shapewear. So I never wear thigh shapewear. I always just wear like high-waisted shapewear panties all summer long. If I'm wearing any kind of dress, anything like that, throw it on over my panties, I'm good to go. And I don't even feel it all day long. And I have nothing to hide. Like, that's what I do. But my dressing room videos, like I said, I'm wearing leggings, which, leggings are great. They help smooth you out as well. And if my body looks smooth, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope it does. If it does, then great. So, yeah. Roxanne L. My question for the Q&A is, what is your favorite plus size online store to order from, and why? So I've ordered from a bunch of different online stores. There's actually a few that I'm trying for the first time. And like I said, there's a couple hauls coming with a couple stores that I've never ordered from before. So I'm really hoping that it pays off. But I've ordered from consistently. So I like Torrid. I've ordered from Torrid a bunch of times in the past. And I like Torrid for the fact that I find that things have worked out the best probably from Torrid. I love Torrid bras. I've had good luck with their jeggings, their tops, a couple like lingerie nighties I've ordered from them. I don't like the duty charges that I paid when I ordered from Torrid. But consistence wise, I would say Torrid. But I also love ASOS. ASOS has really cute, kind of like on trend, but good quality pieces that you won't necessarily find, in, you know, like Pennington's or Additional or any of the stores that you can just kind of like walk into, and try things on. Even though that is definitely more desirable to be able to actually try things on before you buy them. But I like ASOS for that. And but consistency wise, I'd say Torrid right now. That might change. But you just have to take a chance sometimes, because a lot of the clothes that you can find online, you can try out so many different pieces and so many different styles that you won't necessarily find in store. And just, you got to take the risk sometimes. Find something cute, check the size chart, know your measurements. That's really important. And yeah, so hopefully that answered your question. Liliana Badio, I think that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. You're so sweet too. You're always commenting on my videos, and I really appreciate that. My question to you is, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now, and in the long run, will you get married? Where do I see myself 5 years from now? 5 years from now, my son will be an adult. He's 13 now, so he'll be 18. So I don't know. I would like to see myself maybe having taken a couple really awesome vacations. I'd love to see myself possibly in like a relationship of some sort that is positive. I don't know. But marriage, like you're asking me, in the long run, do you still see yourself getting married? I've never been one to say, you know, or to need that piece of paper. Like I've never dreamt of like the wedding and the husband and all this. Like it's just not something that is my goal. Like marriage is not like a goal of mine. Like happiness, security, independence is key. Like I love being independent, and I am very used to it. I'm used to being independent and on my own. And now I can say, like 10 years ago, I may have given you a different answer, but now I can say I really like it. I really like the freedom and I love the independence. That's not to say that I don't like relationships, or I don't like being in a relationship, but marriage, you know, in my family, in the last couple of years, there's been some pretty ugly divorces that have happened, and marriage is just not something. It's not something that I strive. I'm not going to say that I would never get married, but it's not something that if I never get married, I'm totally cool with that. Like, it's not something that I, you know, aspire to. You know, if it's something that happens down the road, it happens, but it's not something that I'm actively like working towards, because their happiness and independence and just my general freedom is more up my alley. I'd love to see in 5 years from now, I just can't wait to see where my son is 5 years from now, and his success and what he ends up achieving in life. I'm very excited to see that. I'm scared too in some ways, because he's still my baby, but that definitely is probably what I see. So thanks for your question. This next question, I'm going to turn into another video because like I said, this is a loaded question, a super loaded question that needs its own video, because if I even touch on this video will end up being 3 hours long, and this video is already hella long. But I will let you guys know the question. Blaine's Fire asks, how do you feel about certain body types being celebrated in the plus size community? What do you feel about being fat positive and body positive? Do you think there is a difference? How do you feel about body positivity and weight loss? Can someone be too big? Those questions is the reason that I have been like brainstorming and everything else on making this video. Thank you so much for those questions. I have so much to say when it comes to those questions that this will be its own video, and I will be making it. If I don't make it tonight after I'm done this, I'll definitely be filming it very, very soon. So don't worry, I will be answering all those questions because I have a lot to say about those questions. Thank you so much for those questions. S. Wilson asks, my question is, what inspired you to start a YouTube channel? So basically just watching so many other plus size YouTubers putting themselves out there and showing the world what it means to be plus sized, beautiful, fashion loving, amazing human beings. And the fact that we can be that for each other, and we need that for each other, because in order to learn to really love yourself, because we live in a world that teaches us every day to hate ourselves and to hate our bodies, we need that push, and we need that encouragement from each other. And that's the reason that I started this channel, because I have enjoyed watching so many YouTubers doing exactly what I'm doing. And I kept on like looking for more. I'm like, I could never get enough. Looking for someone who was shaped like me, and seeing how clothes fit them, and how you know, in order to figure out what would work for me. But more so than that, even just watching them put themselves out there, so that, you know, it gave me so much encouragement, and just it's so uplifting to see so many plus size women out there not giving a fuck anymore, and just putting themselves out there and showing everyone that we are amazing, we are fabulous, we are so many things, and we deserve the spotlight, and we can give it to each other on this forum. And I think that's so amazing, and it's just, I love it. So that was what inspired me, definitely. And also because I love fashion, and I think that I can definitely like bring something to the table. I do believe that I can bring something to the table, and I hope that I'm able to. So yeah. Okay, this last question, I'm going to try to make it quick, but I really wanted to include this. So this is an anonymous question. This is something that someone sent me a private message, and I asked if I could include it in my Q&A, because I think it might be helpful for some other YouTubers or for other people watching this. But it was an anonymous question. So basically the gist of it was, there was a little bit more to it than this, but it said, do you have any tips or advice for new YouTubers? Your channel seems to be growing so fast, and I don't seem to be having any luck. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this super quick. When I started my channel, I thought about it for a long time. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I figured out what I wanted to do. I don't know if I'm growing quick. I can't speak for that. I know that I'm almost at 2 months making videos, and I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. It's ridiculous. Like, to me, it is a lot, but I don't know where that fits into the grand scheme of, you know, how channels grow on YouTube. I have no idea. What I do know is that I studied other channels for a long time, and I figured out exactly what I wanted to do and the kind of videos I wanted to make. And then I watched a lot of YouTube advice videos. And one of the really good ones out there is this guy. His channel's called, his name is Roberto Blake, but he does YouTube strategy videos, and he teaches you a lot. And the main thing that I realized after I started my channel, I put out a couple like makeup videos. I did a couple get ready with me's. And then all of a sudden I did it inside the dressing room at Pennington's trying on Melissa McCarthy jeans. And that video just went like, it just all of a sudden got all these views. And I was like, holy shit. So I realized, I was like, okay, let me make more videos like that, because that's what's popular. So I think the main thing is focus on which videos of yours are doing well, because that's what people want to watch. And so make more videos like that. The other thing is watch these YouTube strategy videos, because they will teach you so much about the whole behind the scenes, how YouTube works. Because, you know, your thumbnail is important. Yes, you need a good thumbnail. You need to get noticed. You need to, you know what you're saying, be consistent, find your niche, all those things. But the other thing is to really study other channels, see what people are doing that's working for them, and then don't copy them, obviously, but, you know, look at what they're doing that's working and maybe try that. The biggest thing when you're starting a new YouTube channel is do not spam other people. Do not go to somebody's channel and leave a comment like, wow, that was so amazing. I loved your video. Come check out my video. I did something similar. Never, ever, ever spam anybody, because you could say one of the big reasons not to do that is because it's super annoying to the person that's made that video, because basically you're totally, you know, discrediting what they've done by telling them like, just come look at my channel, right? Never mind it being annoying to that person. Take that out of the equation. The main reason you should not spam people is because it hurts your channel. The whole, like your content needs to be searchable on YouTube. And YouTube automatically sends, when you leave a spam message or a spam comment, like a sub for sub or something like that on somebody's video, it automatically goes into that person's spam folder. So when I get comments like that, I have to look, I can only find them in my spam folder, which means that YouTube recognizes what you're doing and automatically basically categorizes you and your channel as a spam channel, which means that your content, whatever you're putting out there, YouTube is going to down classify it basically, and make it basically irrelevant. So even if you're making an amazing video that, you know, people would love to watch, it won't be searchable. And YouTube is a search engine. So when you go into the search bar and you type in plus size boohoo haul, you know, because that's what you want to watch. Well, if you've been spamming people and YouTube deems that, you know, has categorized your channel as irrelevant, even if you have a really good boohoo try on haul video, it's not going to pop up in the search engine. And the only way that you're going to grow on YouTube is if you can get the views on your video. You have to reach beyond your subscriber count. So yes, sub for sub might bring your subscription rate up if other people are willing to go along with it. But it doesn't matter how high your sub count is or your subscriber count is. If people aren't watching your videos, you're never going to grow. You might have, you know, a really high subscriber count, but nobody's watching your videos. What's the point? You know, what's the point? And if you have been spamming people a lot, you know, even if you leave a comment, and I've noticed this actually a couple times, is that I get messages in my spam folder that aren't even spam. Like they're just like, oh, great video, like loved your video. And I'm thinking, well, why is that in my spam folder? And it's because if you've been known for spamming, whatever comment you leave will go in the spam folder. What does that say about your channel? It means that YouTube is not recognizing you as a valid channel. And so at that point, if that's what's happening, I mean, you may as well just shut your channel down and start all over, because you're never gonna go anywhere. And I'm not saying that that's what this person is doing at all. Like, I'm just saying, based on what I've noticed, that is probably the worst thing you can do and the biggest hurdle that will stop you from growing. because you have to be searchable. You have to be searchable because that's the only way that people are going to find your content. And then just be consistent. Remember that your channel is about your content. It's not necessarily about you. I think a lot of people get that confused and they think that the channel's all about me and people are going to watch me no matter what I do. So I can do a cooking video this day and I can do a makeup tutorial this day and I can do this day and all these different things. But people don't like that. Like, people come to your channel for your content. If you're known for a specific thing, stick with that. And then eventually when people get to know you, like, there's certain YouTubers that I'll watch whatever they do. Like, I've been watching them for so long that no matter what they do on their channel, I'll be into it. I'll watch their vlogs. I'll watch, them, cooking food, and I'll watch them trying on clothes, and I'll watch them doing a whole bunch of different things. But I think you have to get there first. You're not super interesting and amazing to people before you've ever started. Like, you have to be consistent in one thing, give people what they want, because your channel is about your content and then about you. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I see it. And that's kind of the strategy that I've kind of been working with. If it's been a strategy, I don't know. And if it continues to work for me, then great. But I am going to continue to make the videos that I know that people want to watch. And I know that there's a real market for plus size fashion vloggers, because I crave it. Like, when I watch YouTube, that's what I want to see. And so I know that there's a market for it, and I know that that's what people want to see. And so those are the videos that I am going to make and that I want to make. If that's helpful, I really hope so. Thank you so much for your question. I think that's the end of this one right now. This is really, really long, you guys. I am so sorry. Like I said, I'm going to get to the other one and make a whole other video. But thanks so much for all your questions. And if you've stuck it out to the end, you guys are just awesome. And I am so happy to have you guys here. And I am so happy to have started this channel and I'm able to make these videos. It makes me really happy, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. And I will shut up now and stop rambling, and I hope you guys all stick around and come back for my crazy awesome hauls, because they're coming. So have a wonderful night. Thank you again all so much for your questions. If there are any more, I'd be more than happy to do another Q&A. If you guys want more questions, want to ask more, or have more questions for me, let me know. Or anything else, just leave everything down in the comments. And I love you guys. I'll talk to you all again very, very soon. Bye.